What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and in a world where games like Stellar Blade and The First Descendant are kicking ass because they keep the wokeness out, and games like Concord and Flintlock are failing because they embrace that weird shit, you would think that developers would steer away from wokeness, but that isn't the case for the developers that we're going to discuss today.
Are you crazy? Is that your problem?
Dustborn is a game being put out this month by Quantic Dream, and it absolutely deserves to be mocked ruthlessly as it flounders spectacularly. I suspect that we will see numbers that make the Sweet Baby Inc. game Tales of Kenzera Zhao look like a fabulous success, because nobody wants this kind of shit. How many times do these people need to be reminded that the modern audience that they're chasing after is tiny and pathetic and they don't buy games? But for whatever reason, they just keep doubling down.
That's because you're stupid.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke games pinned to my account for your reference. Dustborn here will absolutely be added to the list.
It's a list of stupid idiots, and all of you are on it!
In any event, my handle on Twitter is Dr. Disaster1. But let's talk about Dustborn. Usually, I like to say that a game is lousy with wokeness. I'd like to say that it's been infested, but it can't be infested in the same way that a cockroach can't be infested. A cockroach is the infestation, and that is what Dustborn is, the epitome of wokeness. I'll say this for them though, at least they have the balls to make their own IP and lean right into it. I'll give them that. That beats the shit out of what these other activist snakes in the grass do, hiding this shit in intellectual properties that people actually like. This is a step up, and I almost wish that the game would do well so that other developers would make their own IPs from now on, rather than subvert the ones that we actually like. But it doesn't really matter what I want at the end of the day, because this thing is going to be about as successful as Rosie O'Donnell in a beauty pageant. If you look at the Steam charts here all the way down in the lower left corner, you will see that this game is currently sitting at number 521 on the Steam wishlist. For a game that's coming out in 2 weeks or so, that ain't good. I mean, it beats the shit out of Concord, which is currently 765 on the list, but that's not exactly difficult because Concord, of course, is going to be a massive failure as well. And it just goes to show you that people, they just aren't interested in this sort of woke shit. If you want an idea as to what this game is like though, look at this article from Fandom Wire. Dustborn preview from deep cybernetic existentialism to socio-political melodrama.
What?
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
If we jump down into the article, this is how they describe it. Quantic Dream classifies Dustborn as a story-driven action-adventure game, so it only makes sense to first focus of the game's writing and characters. Inevitably, this is going to be the most divisive aspect of Dustborn, and may be enough to turn certain audience members away from the game entirely without even trying it out for themselves. Newsflash, this is going to be the vast majority of gamers. Just newsflash, I don't know how you don't understand this by now. When you say certain audience members, that makes it sound like it's only going to be a couple of people. Of course, they can't help themselves. They always want to try to diminish the people who are anti-woke in games. They always try to make it sound like we're this really small section of gamers, but let's be real. Almost everybody is going to avoid this thing like the plague. This is going to be like Tales of Kenzara. If you may remember, that game only had, at max, 200 or so gamers playing concurrently on Steam. So, yeah, most people don't want this kind of game. Anyway, the article continues, for those amongst you willing to give it a chance, your mileage will likely depend on your tolerance for extremely on-the-nose political parallels being drawn via snarky dialogue. Personally, I'm torn. There's a part of me that draws petty pleasure from knowing how annoyed gamergators will get upon hearing some of this dialogue. On the other hand, though, I do prefer my socio-political commentary with a lot more nuance than what Dustborn offers.
Why are you the way that you are?
Never forget this, people. Never forget how much these journalists and game developers hate you. Never forget how much pleasure they take in shitting on things that you love. Never forget how much they hate the gaming industry. On the one hand, I will admit that I take great pleasure in games that annoy them. Games like Stellar Blade, where the character isn't an ugly troll or a weak, effeminate man. But on the other hand, think about this. We celebrate characters that don't suck and are worth looking up to. They celebrate characters who are snarky and fit into their ideological bubble. We are not the same. But that's probably enough about this very shitty game. This video was meant to be a PSA so that none of you try it out and all of you ignore it on Steam. So I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of this dumbass game into the comment section below and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.